Ever wondered how blockchain and AI could revolutionize our health and fitness? In this podcast, I spoke to a serial entrepreneur called Amir, who has been known for using cutting edge technologies. And this time, he's using blockchain and AI to create a new kind of fitness app. Stay tuned for more. First question to you, Amir, is who are you? What is your background? And why did you start this company?
My name is Amir Neghabian, and I'm a founder of Vitalveda. Previously, I was involved in the telecommunication, IT, and various projects, having extensive experience being an entrepreneur, introducing a new concept, bring it to the market, and developing it. So basically, through the course of this life of the business that I was running, I was always interested to introduce something new, some things that I can think, okay, it can be a need for the market, it can challenge the market. My involvement was more into the telecommunications, so I'm living in Australia. I used to live in Sydney, Australia.
Mhm.
And at those time, I was very much fascinated with the VoIP. I brought the VoIP to the market,
The
and then
voice
I
of
introduced
internet.
it to the market in Australia, which actually it was kind of appreciated a lot, knowing that the nature of Australia people and from the different ethnical backgrounds and needing to make a long distance call. So that at that time, with the absence of so much applications as existed today,
Mm,
smartphone and so much thing,
mm,
that technology it was a big hit. Later on, I was moved to the online payment solution using an interactive voice response. For that also, I had development which took about 2 to 3 years to come up with the solution that parties like a telecommunication service
mm,
provider, post office, and public sectors can accept online payment, which was something very new at those days. Later, actually, I was more involved with the corporate side of telecommunications, selling services, setting up a pub as to do like a call exchange from one point to another,
mm,
and just routing a call from one country to another.
mm.
So that was actually involvement as more to providing a solution to telecommunication sectors. Then I shift myself to blockchains about 5, 6 years ago. And as how actually I came across with the technology, I was attending a few conferences because I've done with the telecommunication. I had an exit, I sold the company. So I was thinking, okay, what will be the next thing that I can do the, to come as a trend technology in a sense that it can come up as adaptation
Mm.
with what exists today. And blockchain was kind of very fascinating at those earliest stage to me. Uh, at that I moved myself to Canada, and I used to live in Toronto at those days. And I have a very close observations of health system and the interactions that the patient have with the medical providers, with the hospital, with the clinic, and just having that assessment that okay, if someone wants to actually get a hold to the doctor, someone wants to have the medical records, how someone wants to go to the elite diagnostics, process, what will actually, what exactly that the patient or user need to do, and is that an efficient way that it can help the patient to just providing all these things in one
Mm.
platform and assisting them. So then I start actually doing my research on the health and blockchains and how we can actually come
Mm.
distribute these
Mm.
medical records, working with hyperledgers, and how it actually is. Everybody can have as a privacy as a a data that it can be on the permission base and so forth. Then was actually kind of pivoting the idea to come on in a sense that, okay, now we need actually to capture real data
Mm.
to just assess the fitness, health, and status of individual. So putting that aside, how we can actually come and say that, okay, we having a platform that it's actually a user base. It's come up as a user application solution with the Web3 again together, and those information can come and actually create a bigger ecosystem of fitness and health.
Mhm.
And through the research, and development phase, we were thinking that AI can be a very good integration with blockchain solution together, and that's when we decide to said, okay, now we come up with a good definition. We got a fitness application with the adaptations of blockchain and AI together,
Mm.
and we have to see that, okay, how each of these technology can come in use to help the user.
First of all, what is the app? Like, just tell the audience what is the app? Like, what is it?
The app actually is okay. How we actually come up with the idea, how we came up actually with the earliest stage concept was to just go and see what is actually existed in the market in terms of, let's say, I want to do exercise. You want to do exercise. You actually go to the app store. You go to the different sources, and you want to actually just having a good application to introduce you to different packages and to
Mm.
different programs. Then we study each of these applications. We have actually just test them, we run them, we see, okay, and we get the feedback from the users. So if you have a fitness application, what you like about your fitness application and what you think is missing, have all these fact sheets. Then we said, okay, now we are introducing a fitness application which is providing all these features that today customer expecting to have in terms of being transparent. Uh, there are different parties to be involved as the instructors, the people who can actually come up and provide a good solution, plus the user that they can get the benefit of these programs and challenges that it will be created from the best in the marketplace.
Mm. Well, you kind of said earlier how you went from telecommunications into like the health industry, and then you noticed how blockchain could be used. What was it about blockchain that really got your attention? Like, why blockchain specifically?
There was so many reasons, and the feature that the blockchains is providing in terms of transparency,
Hmm.
in terms of data distribution, in terms of the security,
Yeah.
and creating also an internal digital economy in a sense that you can actually just come and govern that,
Hmm.
somehow engage the users, and having a concept of DAO to just provide more a voting power to who is interested to this ecosystem. And all together on the Web3 and blockchains are quite fascinating things to consider. And in my opinion, it was all about the futuristic concept that in tomorrow businesses either would be in a small, medium, or enterprise. These solutions will come up more into the adaptation and
Mm.
use.
And like, what is the big problem you're trying to solve?
Okay, I'm actually getting the specific to the niche market that I'm actually trying to develop the solution.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, First of all, let's actually talk about this fitness application as why we are integrating Web3
Mm-hmm.
and what is the advantage. Because it's a fact that yes, I'm actually introducing this, and many people said, okay, we got this on the Web2, it's working perfectly. So what Web3 integration will have? as a good addition to this
Yeah.
solution that you're trying to introduce to the market. Basically, the fact is that the use of the smart contract uh, as the way that once actually you are engaging different parties, you're engaging content writers, developers, or so forth, then you can demonstrate a share revenue model in a very transparent
Mm-hmm.
way,
Yeah.
that how exactly you can benefit from this ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, obviously, the security issue, as the data of each individual, it will stay actually as secure and confidential. And as I also mentioned, I really like the idea of a self-motivated platform with the combination of gamification.
Mm.
And I think gamification with blockchains together is a match made in heaven.
Me too. Me too.
It's a fact that, okay, how else you can actually have a transparent
Yeah.
scenario that you can actually give a ease of mind to user,
Mm.
that you come and do a participation,
Mm-hmm.
you join, you actually try your best, and then we want actually to make sure that it comes and the gamification elements will be executed as you with the full trust.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, I like that. I like that. Gamification in Web3 is a match made in heaven for sure. Um, you mentioned a utility token, and you mentioned, well, to me earlier, NFTs. How would you plan to implement those tokens and NFTs into your app?
Basically, as the algorithm we have in mind is to have one token
Mm-hmm.
to be an official token of
Okay.
Vitalveda project. We
Yeah.
call it VVFit. VVFit is the tokens that the user need actually to have it in hand to get on board, paying for the services that we are promoting. The token is going to be accumulated in the liquidity pool, and
Mm.
based off the smart contract algorithm, it's going to be decided as what percentage it goes for the reward, what percentage it will be back to those to the trainers, to the instructors, fitness instructors, and if we have a buyback mechanisms, if we have and also the revenue stream of the business, it will be all decided by the coding of the smart contract.
Mm-hmm.
The NFT part is something that, because we see there of the NFT, we see how the NFT has been actually in the gaming and the social application so far.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, observing those closely for the past 2 years, it was a valuable lesson to learn,
Mm.
to make sure that you come up with the definitions for your NFT, to make sure that your NFT is a utility NFT, that it practically in use
Yeah.
in your ecosystem, and you're not actually making an inflation for that, you're not actually you're somehow it will be something that it will be unique for propose that it will be
Mm.
defined. So
Mm-hmm.
for this particular case, we were actually thinking that each of these content writers, each of these instructors coming with the solution, coming with the program, let's say, assuming that you have a beautiful package or programs for fitness, which is a month program with everyday exercises and every days of workout with a gamification that you have in mind, that okay,
Mm.
what user need to do as a step,
Yeah.
what has to achieve, how would be the pointing and the score mechanism,
Mm-hmm.
and everything. It comes as a package to
Mm-hmm.
be an utility NFT,
Mm-hmm.
to somehow pattern that
I got it.
idea of what the instructor actually have in mind.
I got it. Yeah. You know what I just thought? How do you prevent users from gaming the system. So like how do you stop them from like saying they've done a workout so they can get the rewards without having known they've actually done the workout? Do you know what I mean? How do you know that a user has actually earned their rewards uh
Uh,
properly?
it's actually a real competition,
Yeah.
a match. So it needs a full, commitment,
Mm,
participation.
I see.
It's not like, for example, being there and get the reward
Ah,
simply.
yeah,
Of course, everybody is not a winner.
yeah.
So it's a fact that we are introducing a program.
Mm-hmm.
We said that the program may take 7 days. In 7 days, you need to do these challenges. You cannot escape. You have to make sure that you are fully doing each of these programs.
Mm,
There is an element to capture you, to come up with the assessment, to compare you with the role model,
yeah,
or as being defined to,
yeah,
and then make sure that the accuracy level, the also the commitment and
yeah.
how you are presented during all these things will be all content.
I see, I see. So you're being compared to like a metric. Now, as a user, do I know what that standard is that I'm being compared to? Or is it like,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes, the
okay.
user will actually exactly knows because there is a preview. Then
Uh-huh.
the user will actually have to run the application with a camera together, either
Mm.
from their phones or from the notebook.
Ah.
So they have to stay in front of the camera at the whole session. The camera will come up and detect the person. It will
Mhm.
say, okay, will come up with a warning that you are either in the right position, you're in the frame, or you're not. So
Mhm.
just yourself, make sure you are actually, we can capture every of your movement.
Mhm.
And those movement, and we also do the same thing for instructor when the instructor load the program.
Mm.
So then these two will actually comes and said that, okay, how much
I
as
got
a
it.
pointer,
Yeah.
like movement, it was actually compared to
Yeah.
the trainers.
Yeah. 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 That makes
Plus
sense.
that, one more thing also which is exciting is that we actually wants to come up with the assessment to show, to
Mhm.
demonstrate the users that how you were before
Mhm.
and what's going to happen with you in the course of time
Got it.
after doing all this exercise month to month or week to week, whichever period that you're going to onboard. So a full body scanning will happen in the first day from a different angle. And then after a period of time, we said, okay, this is your measurement. This is what it comes as an analytical, report of you. And at the end of the period, we you do the same to see
Nice.
that if there was any change or not.
Nice. Nice. I like that. I like that. So it's like a before and after, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Before
Yeah.
and after,
Okay, so I think now's a good time to dive into some design. So do you mind if I like share the screen and I'll get the
of course.
yep.
Sure. Okay. Basically, first we come up with capturing the information, the basic informations of each users, and from the personal data, their weight, their height, weight, and then the basic instructors would be actually just come up as how you want actually to place your phone and how do you stand, and then to make sure that you're fully visible. Either you're staying from your camera, you're far, you're close, and basically, and also the sounds, because this is actually an interactive program. The user has to actually listen to the instructors, and it comes with all the voice and everything.
Yep.
And then get an option. Either you want actually to allow your camera to come up with that, things, or you simply just wants to have a workout and you're not worried about, the reward gamification or anything.
Ah,
So you
okay.
just want to test it.
I
So we
see.
have both options to allow users to decide what they want to do. Then, yeah, so this is actually the process of recording it. So we said, okay, this is
So you only allow the camera. So the camera is necessary to get the reward. But if I don't want to show my face
of
anywhere,
course.
then I don't have to have the
Yes,
camera.
but let's say, for example, my intention is just to have a good workout. I like actually the programs. The programs are good, but I said, okay, for me, the reason that I'm on board just to want to having a good exercise and stay fit, and it's totally fine.
Okay.
So you just disable the options of camera.
Yeah.
So if you're an instructor, we come and said, okay, you come and you record your exercise program here. So then you come up with the definition, said what is the name of the programs, and the description, the how reputations, times, and everything, all the details that the user need to know. For example, I came here and I have, the 15 minutes of cardio, stretching, and full body flow,
Mm.
and other things that it's going to be introduced by. Another important element of this application is the analytical or performance dashboard for each user.
Hmm.
Sure, please.
How do you plan on securing how do you plan on handling user data? Because you know how, like you said earlier, with blockchain, it's very secure, transparent, but because it's transparent, anyone can see it. Like, how do you
Mhm.
plan on keeping the user data safe and secure, but still owned by the user and not by you? Or do you plan on not doing that at all and keeping like a Web 2 sort of way of doing things?
And obviously, yes, to answering your question, some of this data will be actually on the web to some of, and the another element of the application would be on Web3.
Hmm.
But this data, it will be capturing for a user without actually having, for example, their names and their identity.
I see.
Basically, as you see that, okay, I choose everything here. I want actually, I'm a beginner,
So
so
would it
I'm
just be like
actually.
would it be just like a wallet address? So like a wallet address.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right.
I thought so.
So then I actually comes here. So I was saying that, okay, I have no equipment, continue. And then it's analyzing all the programs,
Hmm.
and then it will introduce the program. Uh, at this stage, we are thinking about Binance Smart Chain.
Okay, BSC.
Because actually we are starting to doing the development, so that actually is just
Mm.
things that we have actually it was thinking at this stage, but we are still actually in the process of just researching and assessing and making a final decision.
Sure, sure, sure. Of course, yeah.
The another important feature of these applications is that we are intend to build a social application in a sense that people can share their experience as people can communicate, the instructor can come up and introduce themselves better
Hmm.
with the experience that they have, with the places that they have been, and where they're actually performing these things. So in the way that it will actually create a kind of a social application.
Yeah. Now,
That
I could imagine this like community feed, social media part, maybe tying it to sort of like Instagram API or Facebook API, where you're just kind of fetching posts from there, or would it just be like your own social media app
it would be
within
our
this?
own social media app, because again, we want actually to share everything here internally to see
Mm,
that most of this info, I mean, all this information, yes, it will actually be all captured in our own application.
mm.
And
Do you not feel like do you not think that'd be a lot of technical overhead though? Like to have like all that in one app instead of just doing like the workout stuff and then fetching this data from some like third party.
yes, you're absolutely right. And that's
Mm,
why actually we intend to introduce all these things through our roadmap, because
mm,
again, it will be actually a very big project to start.
100%. Yeah.
And definitely the MVP will have actually some of these features that I'm actually presenting today.
Yeah.
So again, it's a decision that once actually we are in our that process of building the MVP and our prototype to decide, okay, what would be the first stage of the release and what feature we're going to have.
Mm.
But again, we putting all these things together to just come up and demonstrate that, okay, this is also due to come too as well at the later
Nice.
stages. And as you can actually see, okay, they were a participant, but only the first three are entitled to get the rewards based
Yeah.
off their performance. And that rewards also will be decided by whoever actually is creating and these gamifications or these challenges
Mhm.
for the users.
That pretty much wraps up this interview or podcast. Thank you so much, Amir. Like that was a really good show of the Figma files. First time seeing it. So my question to you, my final question to you is, what are your next steps now?
At this stage, we did actually a good research on on the competitor, on the market, on the users, on the expectations
Mhm.
as what exactly they want from a good application to get engaged with.
Mhm.
We are happy with our findings. We are happy with all the information that we have accumulated for the past years, and it's the time for us to start doing the development to bring these things to life
Mhm.
and uh, start planning and crafting our
Mhm.
roadmap as how we want actually this to be happen,
Mhm.
when it's going to be the first stage of the MVP, and then introducing a live programs to our community and welcome them to come on board and try
Mhm.
it.
I see. So, but the first thing you need really is funding, right? You need funding from someone to get the developers.
And appreciate and everybody know this. These things actually definitely need good support from various partners,
Mm.
good support from VCs, investors that are in the industry. They can actually come and trusting us, believing this
Mhm.
solution, and
Mhm.
together we can grow. Together we can have this assurance that we are supported by them on the specific time frame that we have actually assigned for.
Right. Okay, great. Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Amir. It was great talking to you. All the best, and hopefully we'll see each other soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.